I think it's also the team as a collective that there's a lot of questions. A lot of the guys weren't performing. Tyler, and I think it became a blessing in disguise that Tyler Hero got hurt. But we're besides the point. If you look about Jimmy Butler, a guy who's been called out a lot, like arguably even he said that I did not work on my basketball game as much when I was in high school. It was only in college. And you just someone, the odds were stacked against him where he first joined a Bulls team that was really, really good, then moved to Minnesota, moved to Philly, finally found a home in Miami who is not telling him to change. They're not telling him to shoot threes. They're not telling him to change his game. They're telling him to be him. That's why everyone's calling him Butler.
Himmy Butler, I like that. But then, you know, when you talk about Jimmy, Isaac, such a perfect fit to this Heat culture. I mean, Spo actually said, you know, he banks on the strengths of his players and doesn't try to show the weakness. And with Jimmy, it doesn't seem like he has a weakness. Defense, offense, you know, trying to be a leader for this Heat team. Scoring is one thing also for Jimmy, Isaac, but the timing of all his points, just a huge difference when it comes to the playoffs.
I think his only weakness is an inconsistent three-point shot where, remember last year, he was one shot away from beating Boston, going to the NBA Finals. But he doesn't need to do that. That's why he has Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, even Duncan Robinson, who everybody probably didn't want to talk about early in the year, is now had 20 a while ago, is playing really well. So it's just him really understanding his teammates' strengths and playing around them.
Well, now move on to the West here, where Jamal Murray has been lighting it on fire. We could talk about Nikola Jokic, but then we have to give our flowers to Jamal Murray, who, remember, coming off a couple of ACL injuries, and I'm sure you could relate to the fact that the road back is so difficult. Just how happy are you to see Jamal Murray performing the way that he's performing, considering the injury worries that he had to overcome?
And not only that, I think the injury with the state of the NBA, in the state of medicine right now, ACL injuries are quick to come back from. But it's more of the mental fatigue that he said that he was afraid of getting traded because in the NBA, you know that if you get hurt, the phone call, someone can call like, hey, we want Jamal Murray, or the organization saying, we're shipping Jamal Murray. But him having the trust that, I think that's why he's playing so well. There was that trust in him. There was the timetable of his return was, I think they gave him a proper roadmap to it that we're going to build you up slowly. Because let's be real, at the start of the year, he was not good at the start of the year. He was missing a lot of shots. He looked terrible at stretches, but it was all part of the plan to get him healthy for this point. And that's what the rule for all basketball players, man. It's keep the main thing, and look at the bigger picture.
Don't rush the process, that's for sure. And when you see Jamal, why is he so effective here in the playoffs? In the bubble, if you remember, in the playoffs also, he's playing at the same level right now, Isaac.
It's nightmares for Paolo right now, but
He wasn't the best player in that series. But yes, go on.
but it's just really him, I think, first of all, understanding that he has a great player. He's not demanding the ball from Nikola Jokic. Like, they know that this team, Nikola Jokic is the engine. I just have to be the number 2 guy. And there will be stretches where Nikola doesn't want to score. There will be stretches where he's going to sit on the bench. And have you noticed, when he's off the game, that's when Jamal takes over.
Right.
So Jamal is now showing that I am a great number 2 guy.